Al, buddy, I'm gonna give you a quote from the great poets known as Def Leppard, but I'm gonna twist it a bit.
Okay.
Al,
hmm
do you want to get shushed?
Yes.
I'll have you know I've had that in my head all day as the
That's
opening to this podcast.
amazing.
Oh God.
Oh,
Welcome everyone to this landmark episode of the seasonal anime checkup OVA. It's episode number 102. It's a podcast where we have conversations about video games, anime, and manga. Hello, I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Owl and Ladium, also now known
hello.
as Owl Owl.
Ow, ow. Hello. I,
It's even
I'm
sillier
out.
to say and like vocalizing it.
Ow, ow.
Owl
I,
Owl.
I, I have relocated
You
again.
have the second time during our podcast's long tenure.
Whoops. I, am currently in Alabama.
You had to locate because you were so excited to talk about this game.
It's true.
You know, some people are claiming this might be the greatest game to hit this year, maybe the greatest game ever created.
Oh, wow.
Just like when people talk about games as art, you know, they're gonna start talking about this as the forefront of that category.
Literally nobody's saying that.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me let me check my notes real quick. I think I got the wrong. Oh right, yeah. Yeah. That was a different game we were talking about.
hmm
You know, people are saying this is the worst game of the year.
That it is the game equivalent of The Room.
When people are talking about games as art, they are not going to be talking about this game. They're going to be talking about this game as how games aren't art.
hmm How
uh,
have games gone too far?
have games gone too far? Should we stop this medium already? It's time to talk about. It's time to talk about the Shush Shush Man,
The Shush Shush Man.
aka the Square Enix's The Quiet Man,
The Bouncer too.
aka the Bouncer 2. God, I think that's insulting to the Bouncer,
It is insulting the Bouncer because, like,
which is
I don't know.
bad.
Ugh. Um, I wanted to bring it up. The fact that, like, this game was at E3 this year.
At Square's very terrible E3 video conference,
I mean,
or
yeah, it
just
was trash,
run of
but
trailers, but yes, they were like, man, we need to get this game out here to the public. We need to show these people The Quiet Man.
and everyone's like, okay, what was that? The Bouncer too?
Here's this mix of FMV and kind of bad-looking beat-em-up gameplay. All right, I guess that's a thing.
Kind of bad looking.
Kind of bad-looking.
All right, all right.
So that was the first introduction of the Shush Shush Man.
And I forgot it was like even a thing until like
Yeah.
you brought it up, and I was like, oh right, that game exists.
So it kind of got a little bit more traction around the time of PAX, because that was the first time Square was showing it off to people, letting them play it. And
Mistake.
one of the interesting things is that they inadvertently brought the actual full game to PAX. So the
Good.
idea was they were supposed to let people play like 15-minute chunks.
Yeah.
And Waypoint's Patrick Klepek ended up playing like an hour of it, getting trophies in the process. Until they're
Oh,
like, oh, yeah, time's up, you gotta go.
oh my God.
And that was like the first real like inklings of like, the Quiet Man is something. And then it came out for everyone on the 1st of November. Remember the 1st of November for the Shush Shush Man.
Ugh.
And then boy howdy, the Shush Shush Man.
It sure is a thing.
It sure is a video game. So this is a game where it is a mixture of full motion video,
FMV.
a hallmark of the industry, and video game play, where
hmm
you control a deaf character and you don't get to hear anything throughout the entirety of the game, except for
the beginning.
except for the beginning, and then everything else sounds like you're just underwater.
Yeah, that was weird. His name is Dane, right?
His name's Dane. He is,
Okay.
AKA the Shush Shush Man.
The Shush Man.
And apparently he can just understand people and talk to them, but you don't get to see that.
And also, like, it doesn't make any sense because there are times where, like, deaf people can read lips and everything. They can figure it out. But, like, he just understands even though he's not looking at you or they're not looking at him. And you're like, what? No.
Or even, like, when people are signing to him, like, you don't get subtitles for that. Because
Yeah,
even though he would understand that.
Or, like, when he's talking, he would know what he's saying.
Right.
And you don't get subtitles for that. I'm like, what? He would know what he's saying. So it's not that, like, it's a bad concept, because the concept of it's actually really intriguing, like the whole idea of following somebody who is deaf and like what their life would be like, but the execution of it is hot
Absolutely
garbage.
awful. Yeah. It's a gimmick.
Yeah.
They're using
Go ahead.
They're using a disability as a gimmick.
Correct. And the fact that they didn't even bother to like get a deaf actor for it is,
of course not. We had to get this pretty boy with his Final Fantasy looking haircut that he got from 1999.
I'll say that's some boy band haircut right there.
So yeah, you play through. It's a game you can play in like one sitting. It's only like a couple hours long, so it's not like you're trudging through this. Unless it crashes on you, yeah, and you have to play the last chapter over and over again because it keeps crashing on you. But it's something you're just meant to play in like a sitting or two. Like it's not something super long. So I mean, that's probably one of the one benefit of it is that it's not long. You can get through it and just be done with it. Well, kind of. But the crux of this game is that you play through it without the sound and everything because you can't hear. And then the next time you're supposed to play, you get all the answers because it's a game you're supposed to replay.
Oh my god. So on our first playthrough, we decided that the Shush Shush Man was one of the best bakers in New York City.
Because there was no sound, we came up with our own story.
We came up with our own story.
To fill in the gaps.
Because there was this one point where he drops a briefcase in front of his friend, and it's just full of white powder. So we're like, all right, he brought the flour. He's ready for this bake-off.
So we constructed the Great Bake-Off of New York City. Hey, because this game's set in New York City, they don't really remind you of it that often, but it's important to remember that you're in New York City.
New York City, definitely New York City.
Definitely New York City.
Did you know it was in New York City?
Hey, were you aware we were in New York City?
Wow, New York City.
New York City.
So anyway, NYPD is there, and Dane is there, and his friend is there, and everybody's gonna bake off.
They're gonna have a bake-off. Dane is the great baking prodigy. Everyone wants his services, and then things go bad, and everyone gets shot with icing guns and wear weird masks and become supernatural creatures.
Yeah, he's supposed to like go get the sugar at one point, and then like his mom wife has the red velvet or the food coloring for the red velvet cake. Which that's another thing is that there's a wife mom in there.
Yeah, this game has a huge Oedipus complex.
Yep.
Where like you keep seeing throughout these cutscenes of like the Shush Shush Man's mom getting shot and killed, and then there's this other lady who looks exactly like her who he becomes infatuated with.
He's like dating his best friend.
So she's the mom wife.
The mom wife. Literally none of this game makes sense, so we just made it make even less sense by making it about baking.
Which made it more fun.
It was hilarious. Like the entirety was just us coming up with like baking.
I don't know.
Like
I
slang
feel like,
and ideas.
Yeah, I feel like that story was a lot better than what they actually presented to you.
Our baking story was way better than the actual story of the game.
I also feel like it is definitely something to mention that the gameplay is terrible.
You mean breaking your arms repeatedly in terms of like fighting people?
Oh my god, yeah, it's bad.
You have like the same like 4 models of people that you're fighting over and over and over and over.
There's no variety in enemies. It's just like we just brought the same character model again and again and again. You have like 3 different moves you could do. It's just mashing on like one button, and then maybe you could do a special move if you hit a different button.
like
It's
karate chop
so
them down.
bad.
Well, and there's that seamless transition from FMV into gameplay.
Seamless.
Seamless.
It's the greatest thing you will ever see. Like, it's just, oh man, it's like, whoa, where's the cut? Where's the cut?
It's like if you were looking like from the top half, you're like, oh, that's the Mona Lisa. It's really pretty. And then as you get down, it starts becoming like a crayon drawing of the Mona Lisa. That's the best comparison I've got for it.
And all the models going in the game are just, they look terrible.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like they don't move naturally either. Like that one guy who like lumbers at you.
There's a boss fight where the enemy's just like lumbering at you, like it just quickly lumbers at you, and it just looks so bad.
It's so terrifying. Like that whole time, like I'm actually scared of this guy just because of the way he moves, not because I'm terrified of who he is and what he wants from us.
And then just like moving in general is bad. Like, it's so like. You can like run into a wall and just like your body will just pause and however it was when you ran into it, and you can just like spin and move like that. Just moving around is just a tiresome bother, and just everything about this game in terms of playing it is bad.
Sometimes you'll be fighting somebody and like their character model will just disappear in the middle of you fighting them.
Or you'll just warp through them.
Yeah. As I mentioned, there's like a weird thing with like the way that he fights it. Like his arm breaks when he's punching people.
Yeah, like it flails so weirdly, like where his elbow just bends backwards.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh god, shush, man, your arm. Man.
I never understood what happened at the beginning with the hot dog.
I think that and
that
why
was
we
like, could hear it.
Well, I think that was to give him the instructions to go meet the weed man. And then go beat them up and get the flower.
Why is this hot dog man involved with the weed man?
He's a middle guy. He's just giving the information. Buddy,
and why did we hear him?
Buddy,
the shush man.
You're asking questions that the shush man is incapable of answering.
Also, like, I don't know what year in America this is, but there's like 10,000 stars on the American flag.
There's a scene where you're in the subway and like the subway train pulls up and there's a flag on the side of it, and there's like 100 stars where the American flag is. It's like, what is going on? What is this new version of America we're in?
Oh my god. And I'm also really upset that I thought the whole time that you came up with Mom's Dead parkour. I've learned that it was not you.
It wasn't. But it's still good, because there's just scenes where he's just like, oh, I gotta jump over this fence, let me just do it parkour style, or I'll just jump over this dude and just grab his head and jump over him. And it's like, what is the point? Why?
That bald man didn't even care. Like, we parkoured over his head, and he's like,
oh, this is another Saturday night in
New
York City.
Oh my god, this game.
They don't make games like this anymore. Like, if this was like 15 to 20 years ago, like, yeah, of course, these types of games are constantly being made, and you're like, oh man, this is a bad game. They don't make bad games like this anymore.
No, they don't.
This is terrible.
It's legitimately one of the worst games I've played in a long time. And I didn't actually play it, but I was there for the ride, and I could tell.
The best part about the first playthrough is that we got to the end, we got through the credits of the bad Imogen Heap song, which is a shame because Imogen Heap can make good songs.
It's true.
And
the
then,
fact that new song from her, though, is intense. Like, oh my god.
They made that song for this game.
That's where the budget went.
So we get through that, and then like we're getting like this weird like recap of what happened, and then the game just froze.
Yep. And you're I didn't get the trophy for beating it.
So I had to go back and replay that second chapter, or last chapter, and then I did it, and then it froze again.
Yep.
So I went back to reboot it again. The game froze on launch, and then the next time I was able to finally beat it, and then it didn't give me that end teaser.
Yep.
Which the end teaser basically... So there's two versions of that end teaser. One is if you played that game at launch, in the first week, it would end with cop dad, who's a cop and your dad, going somewhere, leaving his keys and phone on a desk, and then the phone starts buzzing. And then it's like, do you want the answers? And then a timer just shows up on screen. And it's just like a timer for the release of the audio DLC.
That's so embarrassing. Oh my god.
And then like after, if you beat it afterwards, it basically goes through this rundown of like what happened, and then you hear audio during certain scenes. So it's like, hey, here's audio finally. And then like at the end, it's like it gives you like kind of like a clue of exactly what was happening in this game, which really doesn't help because the entire story of it is just absolutely nonsensical and bad. Let's talk about the actual story because it's terrible.
Yes, let's do it.
Also, this game's very racist.
Oh, yes, it is.
Very racist.
Yes.
You made a good point about the way this game is presented and how like all of the heroic characters or good characters are all white and everyone else is all people of color.
Yep.
Which is just like, ooh boy.
Oh, it's not good.
Yikes. Yeah. But the thing you hear in the post-credits teaser when you beat the game the first time is Mom, Wife, and Cop Dad conspiring to have Mom, Wife get kidnapped.
Correct.
And you're like, okay, sure. All right.
That makes sense.
In the actual story, when you actually get to hear audio, which isn't that much better.
Nope.
The entire audio experience is pretty bad. The soundtrack is very bad.
Yep.
Very, very bad. It's even like sound effects are very bad. Which like, God, imagine being someone who worked as like the sound team for that game and then realizing, oh, all of our work's not even going to get heard until the second playthrough, and even then, like,
no one's going to play that second playthrough.
Who's going to play the second playthrough? Like, okay, hang on.
The percentage of it was low.
Yes, we're going to do a live check-in on the percentages here live on the podcast. But, yeah, essentially, the shush man, Dane, is working with his friend Tay, who's like a gang leader, mafia dude. I don't know.
Who knows?
He just got like the shush man gets some cocaine from these people. These
flour.
These like Hispanic gangsters. Soul 33 represent. Yo.
Oh my god.
And then afterwards, like Tay's like telling him about Lala, who is Mom Wife.
Yes.
And
how she has an admirer.
She has an admirer who keeps sending these weird like
old like hostage letters.
Yeah, because it's all like with magazine cutout words and everything. All right, here is the Shush Man trophy breakdown. Complete the Quiet Man is a rare 30.3%, which is pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, well, hang on.
I mean, considering it's like, what, 4 hours of a game or something?
93.6% of people have completed Chapter 1. And then drop down to 30%. Beating the game a second time all the way through to get the trophy for that is an 8.5%.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Brutal.
That is not good.
Brutal.
So yeah, Mom Wife has a secret admirer who's sending weird letters. So Tay's like, yo, Dane, you gotta make sure she's good because I'm going off to Orlando, Chicago.
Orlando, Chicago.
Because we didn't know what ORD stood for. Or at least
I knew it wasn't Orlando.
Because I'm a dummy.
But we didn't know that it was Chicago because why is ORD Chicago?
Because of weird historical things.
But with audio, he's like, I'm going to Chi-Town. I'm like, okay, I know where he's going now.
So yeah, like you go to Lala's apartment after you fight through some dudes, and then she's on the phone with Cop Dad. And they're like, "You still want to go through with this?" She's like, "Yep, we're gonna get me kidnapped."
Wee.
And the shush man's like, "Oh, I found this bird. I'm gonna show it to my friend." And then he's like, "You're gonna stay on Lala this entire night. Make sure nothing bad happens to her." So
You're the bodyguard.
Yeah. Also, she can't sing because she doesn't know how to sing for some reason. Well, she knows
Even
how to
though
sing.
it's her
She just
career.
can't sing. So she is the shush shush lady, the shush shush mom wife.
Shush mom life.
So they go to this club to watch her perform, and then
It's like Club Moonrise or
Club
Moonlight or
Moonrise.
something. Okay. It's a weird club because like none of the clientele makes any sense.
No. There's like hip, like young people standing out front, like waiting in line, and like here's these old people who just like gets waltzed through the door.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And then we meet the Pocket Square guy.
Oh yeah, Pocket Square guy we meet a couple times, and the shush shush man just keeps taking his pocket square and berating him with it for whatever reason. Because the shush shush man's a jerk.
It's true. He's like, you're not my mom wife. I don't want anything to do with you.
So we get to watch the mom wife perform on the piano, and then the gang comes in, the Hispanic gang comes in, Soul 33, represent yo.
Represent yo.
And then this weird dude with a bird mask comes in with a taser. He's like, I'm going to take mom wife later.
Yeah, it's got like a lightning rod thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I forget what those are called, but it's
Like a stun rod?
teaser, but yeah, stun rod. There you go.
And the shush shush man's like, oh no, I better fight all these dudes and fight this weird crow man.
And you get the weird fight scene in the back alley.
It's not good.
No, it's not good.
So that dude just drives off with mom wife. And then the shush shush man has to go after him. And gets bonked on the head allegedly with a baseball bat at one point. And then
It's fine.
yeah, Pocket Square guy shows up and is like, hey, we got to go after these guys. And Shush Shush Man's like, no, we're not starting a war. That's a bad idea. I'm just going to go get mom wife. And then breaks this dude's car window, window of his car for no reason.
Mm-hmm. No reason. He's
And
like,
Pocket Square was like, that's my car. And then he immediately is like, yo, the Shush Shush Man is the stalker.
Yeah.
It's like, what? No?
No.
That's no?
But then that starts drama.
That does start drama. The Shush Shush Man goes back to Soul 33's like hideout, finds this weird like room in there with like mom wife's pictures everywhere, and
I hear you with my blood.
I hear you with my blood.
I cannot believe.
And then you fight the weird mask guy there again.
Yeah, and you find the box with like the mask in there, but also like her white dress that she was wearing with like a blood spot, which is where we got the whole like.
We get some really good acting.
Really good acting of him crying because he's so upset.
Eventually you have to fight like the head of Soul 33, who you've been seeing in like your flashbacks.
Yep. Which is the lumbering guy.
Who was supposedly in a struggle with a gun that may have shot your mom, and then basically took all the blame for it.
Yeah. It definitely shot your mom.
And then, yeah, but you fight him while he
lumbers
lumbers
at you.
around, and then you just push him through a window. That happens. Mom wife shows up and's like, hey, what's up? We gotta get out of here. This building's about to explode. Oh god, it's on fire.
Oh, right. Also, fire happens, even though that's not how fire works.
Yeah, you knock over like some tank, like little, gas tanks. Like if you were using for like welding or something like that. And then like some liquid just falls out of those. I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
Like, it would make more sense if it was like a gas tank that like you had for a car.
Right.
Like, that makes it's whatever.
It's not a good game.
Anyway, the building's on fire.
Yeah.
Oh god, we gotta leave. And then like Soul 33 represent Yo is just like laughing at it. It's like, you don't have any idea. She's backstabbing you, bro.
Whoa. You eventually get out, and Tay and his crew are there, and then they just beat you up. They're like, you're the traitor. How dare you? I can't believe you. Arr. And then
Also,
you get
like,
out.
you talk to Cop Dad at some point.
Yeah, Cop Dad shows up. I think right after this. We learn about Cop Dad, how he like was very abusive to the Shush Shush Man in the childhood, because Cop Dad basically blames Shush Shush Man for mom wife dying. Original mom wife.
Yes.
Mom wife 1.0. And then like Cop Dad shows up and is just like, here, I'll give you a ride someplace, and I'll just talk at you for the entirety of this car ride, telling you how much of a piece of you are.
Even though, like, I don't know how we understand it because he isn't looking at him, and there's no signing, so I don't know how we know that he's talking but, like, okay, whatever.
It's a great video game.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then that leads you to the final chapter where you go back to, like, Club Moonrise and fight through Tay's gang, and Tay's just like, we were family, why are you doing this to me? And then
And
eventually,
by the way, I may have actually been the one that shot your mom.
whoops,
Woo!
he shoots Cop Dad at one point, and then
Oh, right.
Cop Dad gives you the mask and is like, here's the backstory of this mask. It's the Shush Shush Man's original character, the Quiet Man. Do not steal. Which, man.
Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. And it like keeps showing scenes from like a psychiatrist's office, and it's like he created this thing to cope, and then the guy's like, he doesn't need to cope, he needs to deal with it.
It's so ridiculous because like you see those without the audio the first time, you're like, why is the Shush Shush Man drawing the weird crow dude? And then you learn in the actual audio, it's like, oh, that was his way to deal with the pain. He created this superhero called the Quiet Man,
who cannot be injured or defeated ever.
And Cop Dad's whole idea of like dressing up as the Quiet Man was like, oh, I gotta bring out this bad side of you to deal with all this. So I gotta bring out the Quiet Man within you. So you go up to the roof and fight Dane as the Quiet Man, and then eventually you get like double tapped.
Yeah, you get double tapped.
And then somehow come back to life and you're fine and just like have supernatural powers.
I would say, I don't know that you're fine. Like, you have a black mist around you and also like superpowers. So
You become the Quiet Man.
I mean, the Quiet Man died in chapter 4 or something like that. And the rest of it's just his idealization of how it would have played out.
So you beat up Tay, and then like a bunch of dudes just run out, so you have to fight these like random dudes for like 5 minutes for no reason.
Terrible
It's
padding.
so bad. And then you save Mom Wife, and then Cop Dad shows up and is like, oh, I gotta fight you now.
And then that's my mom wife.
That's my mom wife. And then you beat up Cop Dad, and then that's the way the game ends.
Oh no, because in the second time around, you get the prison scene.
Oh yeah. I mean, like just the actual game.
Okay, the actual game.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a post-credit scene where the Shush Shush Man is coming out of jail. I guess.
Also, did Tay die?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, he's coming out of jail.
This Wikipedia says that he kills off Tay, causing Dane to express grief over killing his friend and blaming himself for the death of Lorraine. Original mom wife.
Original mom wife, yeah.
So the end of the credit scene is Shush Shush Man coming out of prison. His Cop Dad's waiting for him, and the Wikipedia page says he challenges him to a second round of fighting. But it was like this weird thing of like Shush Shush Man like being okay with Cop Dad now. I'm like, why would that be the end of this? Like, that's such a bad ending.
Also, how did he get out of prison so quickly for murdering a man?
He's Cop Dad.
Yeah, okay, fair. NYPD. Never mind. That's all he had to say.
Man.
This game's a mess.
It really is a mess.
Our version of the story was way better. When
it really was.
It's way better.
Like, it made playing through that game a lot better just to crack jokes at it and make fun of it. Playing through it the second time when you had to like listen to the story and everything,
it was painful.
Boring as hell.
It was really bad.
It was
really,
so bad.
really bad. Also, it was really odd, and I know that like this is a strange thing to bring up, but like they make it seem like the neighborhood that the quiet boy grew up in was like a really bad neighborhood, but then they're like casually walking in these nice clothes, holding hands.
Holding hands with my mom.
And he's like probably around like 10 to 12 years old.
Yeah.
But then like he just sees these older boys and is like, hi, how are you? Then she gets shot.
Also, he keeps seeing his mom in like these weird, like sensualized way. Like
Right,
anytime his mom is brought up in like these montages, it's so creepy.
Yeah, it's really, really creepy. Like extremely creepy.
It's just like her making kissy faces at the camera the entire time. It's like, what the
And she like appears if you die.
Yeah. God.
It's a mess of a game. It's really, really bad. Like there is really nothing redeemable about this game other than the fact that it's a joke.
Like I said, they don't make games like this anymore.
They don't. This is highly unique to right now. Jesus, it's so bizarre. How did this game, one, ever get released? And two, why did Square Enix think this was a good idea?
Square Enix thought Hitman wasn't a good enough seller and then decided to put out The Quiet Man.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Square Enix makes terrible decisions. They fired Sakaguchi, and they put out more Final Fantasy 15. And they had that really terrible press conference a few weeks ago.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We watched that before playing The Quiet Man.
We did.
God.
It was awful.
Can I make an impassioned plea though?
Please.
From a tweet I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Tetsuya Nomura.
Mm-hmm.
We have not talked well about you in any of our podcasts.
It's true.
I don't think we've ever said a good thing about you.
No. I may have mentioned that like some character art is pretty sometimes.
I know you just said you wrapped up development on Kingdom Hearts 3.
Correct.
I think you owe everyone, fans of Square Enix, fans of Kingdom Hearts, fans of video games in general, to create a DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3.
The Quiet Man universe.
You know, just a nice location in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And Sora meeting his most dangerous new partner, the Quiet Man.
Dane.
The Quiet Man in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Good idea.
Hashtag the Quiet Man in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
Why don't they put the Quiet Man in Kingdom Hearts 3?
Imagine
bad game plus bad game equals good.
Imagine having Donald Duck in The Quiet Man. I mean, honestly, what else do you need out of life?
Gosh, Dane, what do you mean you can't hear?
I was going to make a joke, but I can't do either Donald or Goofy.
I can't do a Donald impression, but I can half do a Goofy impression.
I was going to say something about like him wanting to bang his mom, but it's really inappropriate in Disney voices.
Gosh, Dane, why you want to bang your mom?
Oh my god. I can make like duck sounds. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this on the podcast. Nope. There we go.
Donald, why would you say that? That's offensive. Donald, I know The Quiet Man is a racist game, but like, come on.
It's really racist. Like, somebody really should have told him, like, hey, maybe don't do that.
It's 2018.
Like, can we not be racist? But also, like, Square is not good at handling race in a good and respectful way. Ever.
So you have posited this question to me, and I've also had this question posted to me elsewhere. Is this a worse game than Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition?
Okay, we had this discussion, and I'm going to go with this as my argument. We at least had fun making fun of it the first time around with our baking story.
Yes.
And, like, that automatically puts it above Pocket Edition for me because we didn't even have fun, like, with that one. We didn't get to make fun of it. We didn't get to do anything. It was just like, oh, God, everything's awful.
I will also give you a second reason.
Okay.
It's much shorter.
Okay, yes. That is fully true. And, yeah. Okay. So...
Like even though that second playthrough is just terrible...
Right?
Even in, like, there's no fun to be gleaned out of it. Us making fun of that first playthrough and having fun that way
automatically
more than makes up for it. Yeah.
That's so bad though that like, oops, sorry, I slammed the door. That Pocket Edition is a worse game than Quiet Man.
Yeah.
Whoops.
But I think when we get the game of the year is going to be for the worst game of the year is going to be The Quiet Man Presents 2018's worst game of the year.
Yeah,
because you got to give recognition to think both of these to these games. Like, God,
you have to. I mean, you really have to. There's no option to not bring up both of them. Just bad, but also hilarious. Who thought this was a good idea?
Square Enix, apparently.
Oh my God, Square, get your together. I mean, I've been saying that for years, but statement still stands.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we played The Quiet Man
You
twice.
played The Quiet Man.
Oh my God, Maxwell just tried to meow and nothing came out, so he is now the Quiet Man.
He's the shush shush man.
Are you a quiet boy? Oh my God, why can't you meow? He keeps opening his mouth to meow and he can't.
The quiet cat.
This is terrible. Please don't go beat up a bunch of well, okay, I say a bunch, 3 different character models, and also want to bang
Break
them
your
up.
arms. I mean, you don't. Max doesn't have bones, so he can pull that off.
Oh, it's true. He doesn't have bones. Oh boy, what is the Quiet Man?
A miserable pile of game.
Good pull.
Yeah. What a bad game. What a bad game. Have you I know you've been busy.
I've been a little busy moving.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just so we don't have everything being negative in this episode, have you played anything fun recently? Thank you, Max.
School Idol Festival.
Okay, yeah.
We got Saint Snow in now.
Yeah.
Real happy about that.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, I haven't really played anything recently, but
You've been busy.
been busy, and I have a few things on the back burner that I wanna try out.
Yeah, yeah.
Or not even try out, just play. Like there's been one game that we've been talking about since September that I want to play again, and I haven't had time. But that's really the positive is self-control is in School Idol Festival.
It's true. It's very true.
Did you play anything fun?
I've been playing some Hitman 2.
Hitman 2, right.
Yeah, I just murdered Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
Because he was the elusive target for that. Came up today as we were recording this.
Mm-hmm.
That game seems pretty good. I haven't got that far in it. I've been playing a lot of NBA 2K19 recently.
Oh, wow.
I got it on sale because it was like half off, and I was like, I'll buy this. And I've been having a lot of fun with that. I have a franchise mode where the cool thing about the 2K games is that like they go ridiculous in terms of like the amount of depth in the franchise mode.
Mm-hmm.
So you can basically start off and like you can create expansion teams and make like the amount of teams you can have in your franchise like from 30 to 36 and just make it just ridiculous. Like the amount of detail they go into it is just insane. So like, you know, if you have a team you want to relocate somewhere, you can easily do that. If you want to pick where the All-Star game is being played, you can do that. The amount of like intense detail in terms of like contract work is like really ridiculous. Like you can go into like, all right, I want to sign this player to this amount, but you know, maybe it'll just be 2 years and I'll give them the option if they want to come back or not in the third, or like I'm gonna
Sorry, I just got sneezed on in the face. I don't know if you heard that.
I did. It's really good.
Anyway, continue.
If you want to like, you're in free agency and you want to like have a cap hold on someone, you can have that where it's like you've extended a qualifying offer to them, and if they try to sign with someone else, you get to match that and sign them back. It's just like super in depth, and like if you're into that sort of stuff, you can really go like just full ham into it. And I created a franchise as an expansion team, and basically have tried to build my way up to the top. So it's like the first year you basically you participate in like an expansion draft where like all the teams give you a look at like all their rosters and allow you to kind of like pick and choose from different people. Like they basically like they prevent you from getting certain people, so like they'll lock down parts of their roster, but like other parts, like if you want to pick these guys, you can. So you get like a kind of crappy team to begin with. But I basically built my way up with like draft picks. So like I got like the first year I got like the number 5 pick, and I drafted a really good point guard, traded and got like a good center as well. So like I had really good like young talent to begin with, and then throughout that year, like through utilizing trades, I had basically built up like 6 or 7 first round picks over the next 2 years.
Wow.
and then utilize that in the next year's draft to trade up into the number 1 spot to get like the best player in the entire draft, and made this like big 3 of like young talent. And then immediately after that, it's been like playoff run, playoff run, playoff run, playoff run, while my team has a really good young core to where like the average age on my starting roster is like 24 years old, which is ridiculous. And then like last night in the 6th year, we finally won the championship, which is real cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's been a lot of fun, just like seeing like, even though like I'm just like simming through seasons, like it's fun to watch like how that team just like, has adapted and like grown throughout like the years that I've been doing it. So that's it's been a lot of fun. And also like some of the other modes are pretty good as well. And like just the gameplay of that game is still really good. And the presentation value is like as good as you'll get in terms of like sports games. Like it's so ridiculously good.
That's great.
Yeah. Like even in terms of like commentary teams, it's like they have multiple commentary teams in it, so it's like you're not getting like the same stuff every time, and they have like pregame and halftime shows from like the dudes who do Inside the NBA, which is like one of the best like basketball shows out there. So like you have Shaquille O'Neal on there just being a weirdo, and it's like, this is great. But yeah, that's basically what I've been doing.
Nice.
Playing some basketball. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court, just like I'm the king of the microphone. So is Dr. J and Moses Malone.
Oh my God. I've just been moving to Alabama.
You have.
Yay. Ow, ow. It's the new joke. It's joke.
It's joke. So that's gonna wrap this episode up.
Yep.
We have been shushed.
We've been shushed at our first on location from Alabama podcast.
Yeah.
Well, me, not you. You're not in Alabama.
I'm not.
But yeah, we have been thoroughly shushed and also like kind of hate ourselves for it.
Well, if you would like more from us, go to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sec.cool. You can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like the Seasonal Anime Checkup and Jared and Al Watch, which that is coming up nearing its conclusion of season 2.
Then we start season 3.
You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from if you want like more from Anladium,
say my name.
Apparently not. If you'd like more from If you would like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews.
You got through it. Yay.
You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/animecheckup. It's where Twitter happens. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. If you're so inclined to do so. Next week will be something. Be our first episode of December.
Oh, wow.
And then... So we haven't talked about this personally, but we will probably have 2 more regular episodes left of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we get the Game of Year edition.
We will have like, I would assume like in between there, we'll have like a 2019 preview episode like we did last year. A Christmas episode of some sort. And then a Game of the Year to round up the year.
Wow. All right, 2018.
Time keeps
You're almost
on
gone.
Into the future.
Oh my God. It's the second musical reference you made.
So that's what I'm here for.
Nice.
I bookend them.
Usually me, but...
Picking up the slack this week.
I like it. I approve, sir.
So yeah, we'll come up with some stuff to talk about over the next 2 weeks, and then pretty much after that we will be high into some special episodes to round out the year.
Nice.
Yeah, so look forward to all those, and don't play the quiet man.
Yeah, don't do it.